Hey everybody, this is Jesse B. Gilmore, agency transformation coach and founder of Niche in Control, creator of Leverage for Growth.
And I'm Lucas James, founder of Twiz.io, which scaled from $0 to $200,000 a month with my own agency.
We are the hosts of Leverage for Growth podcast agency leverage episodes. We know that in order to scale your agency successfully, there are multiple shifts that need to happen within the founder's mindsets, skill sets, and leadership styles. We are on a mission to interview marketing and PR agency owners on their journey to 6, 7, and 8 figures and leverage the lessons from their journey to save you time, energy, and money in order for you to get your agency to the next level. If you find value in these episodes, watch the case study video to learn more about Leverage for Growth and how we successfully scale agencies quickly at nicheincontrol.com/case study. That's nicheincontrol.com/case study. You are now listening to Leverage for Growth. Hey everybody, this is Jesse B. Gilmore, founder of Niche in Control and creator of Leverage for Growth. Welcome to the Agency Leverage Edition. Today I am here with Eli Israel, co-founder of AI Digital Commerce, a family-owned paid search marketing agency specializing in Google, Bing, social, and Amazon ads, focused on optimization and growth. Thanks for coming to our show today, Eli.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Jesse. This has really been wonderful to be invited to share on your podcast.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit more about the history and kind of background of your agency?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So in our agency started, I happened to be doing some community work in a place called Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, for children coming from broken homes. And I was volunteering. And, I was finishing up school, heading into college, and doing some volunteer work, full-time volunteer work, living on premises and really growing and understanding and how people work. And as it comes, you go into the world and you need something to do. So the story really starts before that. And my partner, who I'm very lucky is my father. He's our visionary, as we call him. So he is an actuary by profession, and he loves the numbers. And one day, my neighbor, who worked at a company called Blinds.com, came up, and they would always chat back and forth about different analysis, and he would offer his different tidbits of information. And he said, "Hey, why don't you come work for us?" And what's an analyst? Not an analyst, but what's an actuary going to do at essentially a marketing agency? I mean, as we all know, every online platform, every website online really is a marketing agency, especially companies like Blinds.com who do drop shipping. They are there as a marketing platform. Their website is a brochure. What is he going to do there? But he asked him what he wants, and my dad doubled his salary, and next day comes back and says, "Hey, you got the job if you want it." So I'm a big believer in God. And this was just something that was laid out for him, and he went for it. And slowly but surely, this was when I was younger. Obviously, I was away at boarding school. And so come back to when I was heading out of my volunteer work time, and he already left Blinds.com, got a kidney transplant, had all this revitalized energy. And so he was working as a partial CMO for a couple of companies. And the developer of one of those companies said, "Hey, I have this small company. Do you want to, do their advertising?" And my dad turns to me and says, "Hey, do you want to do this?" In the middle, we bought a leather bags company, learned a lot. It did fail. It was our first failure, but it taught us so much more in the short amount of time than I think this business, which has been, thank God, such a success. It took me a lot longer to learn just very, very important lessons. So that's really how it started. When people ask me, just like you, Jesse, asked me, "Hey, how did you start AI Digital Commerce?" Especially in my community, but I share it with everybody that asks me, is really God dropped it into my hands, and it's been successful ever since.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's there's kind of like these divine moments that lead people towards either entrepreneurship or feeling a calling and things like that.
Absolutely.
Did you know from the like did you know before this agency that you were going to become an entrepreneur and like found businesses, and was that kind of something that always was
Oh
ingrained, or
yeah,
was it kind of yeah.
absolutely. I started my first business when I was, I think, 12 years old.
Hmm.
I decided I'm going to power wash driveways, and I do owe a lot of credit to my late grandmother, who she's like, "Oh, you want to do power washing? Okay." She went to Home Depot, bought me a power washer. She said,
Hmm.
"I'm investing in you," and I started power washing with a buddy of mine. And I remember I love music. I would bring these huge boom boxes, plug it into their wall, and I would power wash driveways. And then from there, so that was around 12 years old. At 13, I went to boarding school away from home, um, and kind of need strapped for cash. I'm at
Hmm.
boarding school. We don't have Zelle, and my little siblings, when they go to boarding school, they go to school, they get allowance, and it's a lot different. But my parents gave me some cash, and there you go, off on the plane, and that was it.
Hmm.
So once a year, I also had a little business on the side where also my grandmother, she would it was actually it's a Jewish holiday called Sukkot, where we build a hut and put palm fronds on top. And I would go around the community and I would see who I would make orders, take orders, and I would go to other people in the community. I asked them, "Hey, can I cut your trees for free? I'm happy to trim them." And my grandmother that time, as or that business kind of scaled from $500 to $700 to $1,000, $2,000 once a year, one day one day a year. This was my business, and then I
Hmm.
went off to school. Um, and she would rent from a U-Haul an F-250, and you see a 75-year-old older woman getting out of the car, stepping out of the F-250. And so it really brings a smile to my face, obviously. But that's where my entrepreneurship started, and I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and get into the business world.
Hmm. That's awesome, man. On your journey with the agency, you talked about how it's been a really a gift for it to be successful, and there might have been some times where you had to overcome some challenges, or maybe do a pivot or something where like you're like, oh man, if I only knew that, a year ago or something like that. If someone would be in the same kind of scenario as you are, and you were to give advice to them, maybe to shortcut kind of those trials and errors. What kind of advice would you give somebody that might be just a little bit before where you are?
So, I mean, there's tons of different stages in the process of growing your agency and scaling, and obviously scaling does hurt. Um, my 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 biggest my tidbit of information is, first off, is really treat your employees great. Um,
Hmm.
I wouldn't say that's something I learned from something bad happening, but something that I've seen really help people become part of you know our culture, is really treating your employees with respect and dignity and care and understanding. But in terms of a lesson learned, I would say that it's really important, and I know that a lot of business owners, they sometimes could skip over this part or try to save a little bit of money. Um, it, I know this might seem very simple, but I fell into this pitfall. Is early on, get yourself a CPA, get yourself a bookkeeper, because you never know. Our business happens to do business in New York, and they treat every little company like a Fortune 500 company. So I get a bill, and I'm traveling. I get it finally, after COVID, go through the mail. I get the $16,000 fine for not having workers' comp. And we're a Texas-based company. We don't need workers' comp, but we have someone on payroll inside New York, and you just don't go through the mail. And that little thing, okay, so we got a piece of mail once a month. But I mean, as a business owner, we all know you probably get tons of mail and tons of stuff. So you're like, okay, New York City, I'll look at that later. Really, even though there's these platforms out there like QuickBooks, Gusto, where if they really help with payroll, I would at least sit down with a CPA or somebody who understands financials from the tax perspective as well as wealth management in order to really get things in line. And I'm still struggling with that actually, because we've grown so much without it. Going backwards to fix it is so much harder. So yes, it does cost money. Yes, it's, hey, what are they doing? And yeah, you know what? I don't know what he's doing, but a lot of my clients don't know exactly what I'm doing, and they trust me. So I do trust him, and I bug him because he's my CPA. But I would say definitely that's a huge little lesson that I always tell anyone that comes to me. Hey, I'm starting a business. What should I do? Make sure your foundation is solid. Make sure your taxes are solid and you know what you're doing. Don't try to save the $100, $200, $500, $1,000, even if it's monthly, just to skimp on that, because they'll come and get you. And it's just no fun. It's no fun, it takes a lot of your time to then deal with these things. So that would be a big one for me.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And what is kind of like, what are you excited for in the future? What's happening with your agency that you're hoping to achieve in the next maybe 3 years?
Oh, wow. I mean, I am so excited for every part of our agency. Thank God we just got a brand new state-of-the-art office, which is great. I'm looking forward to, having events for our clients and our employees, more importantly, like I mentioned. But we're really excited to start offering and partnering with we just partnered with a production company. So I'm really excited to start offering graphic work and video production, and really expanding our social media advertising management department. And just overall, there's been so many cool different things in Amazon ads, in Google, in so just we've been expanding our reach in terms of services that we offer, management of Criteo, and so many other different little sectors that can really help businesses grow. So that's something I'm really looking forward to, is growing our team and being able to offer our clients all the services that they need, and really be able to hit it from every single section.
Awesome. And what's the best way for people to get in touch with you, or do you have any offers for them that they could take advantage of?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the best way to get in touch with me, I'm a person to person. I love talking to people on the phone. I love talking about my business, our business, and what we do and how we can help. So if you want to call me, you can call me at 713-589-6104. That's just hit number 1 for Eli. And you can also hit me up on LinkedIn. You could look up AI Digital Commerce, or just to send me an email at eli@aidigitalcommerce.com, and check us out on our website. And please don't judge our website. We're getting there. That's the one thing that is, I'll be honest, that's the one thing that we've sort of left hanging, and I'm getting to slowly but surely. Our analysts aren't developers, so it takes time. But yeah, and in terms of our offer, I would love to chat with you guys, chat with your business, see how we can help. We always offer a free audit, so we're happy to go into any advertising that you do, do a full audit with recommendations, hand it to your agency for them to do it, and we're happy to help. So if you'd like a free audit, please reach out, and I'll walk you through the process.
Cool. Thank you so much, Eli. It's been awesome having you as a guest.
Thank you so much for having me. This has really been a pleasure.
Agency owners, if you want to transform your agency to sustain and grow without your direct involvement, where you can stop working in the business and switch to working on the business, where you can regain control of your time, delegate effectively, get paid what you're worth, and have your team run the day-to-day, go to nicheincontrol.com/case study right now to learn more about Leverage for Growth. You can book a free strategy session with us to look at your systems, understand what needs to be done in order for you to scale, and get a free strategic plan for the next year to live the life of entrepreneurship that you've always dreamed about. Go to nicheincontrol.com/case study. That is nicheincontrol.com/case study now.